scientist masterminding a secret nuclear bomb program was killed in an ambush near Tehran on Friday. The military advisor to Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei vowed to strike against the killers of Mohsen Fakhrizadeh, who died of injuries in hospital after armed assassins fired on his car. Fakhrizadeh has long been described by Western countries as a leader of a covert atomic bomb program halted in 2003, which Israel and the United States accused Tehran of trying to restore in secret. The European Parliament has called for sanctions on Turkey following President Recep Tayyip Erdogan's controversial visit to northern Cyprus on November 15th. Members of the European Parliament agreeing on a resolution in support of Cyprus urged EU leaders to take action and impose tough sanctions in response to Turkey's illegal actions. The Parliament's non-binding resolution on November 26th emphasized that Turkey's gas exploration activities in the eastern Mediterranean were illegal. EU leaders are due to meet in Brussels between December 10 and 11. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia's Foreign Minister Prince Faisal bin Farhan said on Friday that the Houthi militia is behind Yemen's problems. He said the kingdom has been subjected to hundreds of attacks with ballistic missiles and drones. The news comes days after a Houthi missile attack on Saudi oil facilities in Jeddah. Houthi forces have staged many missile and drone strikes on civilian airports and oil infrastructure in Saudi Arabia, including on the capital Riyadh. Thousands of Sudanese packed into the city of Durman on Friday for the funeral of Sadiq al-Mahdi, Sudan's last democratically elected prime minister, who died from the coronavirus at the age of 84. Mourners in traditional white garments, mostly wearing masks, wept and waved national flags ahead of prayers for the two-time prime minister, who is a central figure in Sudan's political and spiritual life for more than half a century. Mahdi was imprisoned and forced into exile often during his long career, but staged just as many comebacks and remained influential. His Ummah party was one of the largest opposition groups during Bashir's 30-year rule. The Philippines on Friday signed a supply agreement for 2.6 million doses of AstraZeneca's coronavirus disease vaccine to inoculate some 1.5 million Filipinos. The purchase deal for the experimental vaccine developed by the British pharmaceutical giant with the University of Oxford will support the Philippine government's plans to immunize against COVID-19 some two-thirds of the country's population of 110 million. The vaccine supply will be fully paid for by private firms, but half of it will be donated to the government to help in the COVID-19 response. It is expected to arrive by the second quarter of 2021. India's economy contracted 7.5% between July and September, the poorest among major advanced and emerging economies, entering a technical recession for the first time since independence. Although an improvement on the record 23.9% contraction recorded last quarter, data indicates that Asia's third-largest economy is in for a tough fight as it attempts to revive itself as coronavirus infections climb. The two successive quarters of contraction mean the country has now entered a technical recession for the first time since 1947. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia won 6 prizes during the first edition of the Arab Government Excellence Award, which is organized by the UAE and aims to contribute to developing the governmental work system in Arab countries, establish an advanced platform for exchanging ideas and experience and celebrate the distinguished Arab examples and experience in the field of governmental work. The event was held under the patronage of Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, Vice President and Prime Minister of the UAE and ruler of Dubai. The Saudi Ministry of Commerce won the Best Arab Ministry Award, while the Food and Drug Authority in Saudi Arabia won the award for Best Arab Government Entity. Meghan Markle, Britain's Duchess of Sussex, has revealed in an opinion article published in the New York Times that she had a miscarriage. The wife of Prince Harry wrote about the experience in detail, saying that it took place one July morning when she was caring for Archie, the couple's son. Meghan, an American actress and star of TV legal drama Suits, married Prince Harry, a grandson of Queen Elizabeth II, in a lavish ceremony at Windsor Castle in May of 2018. Their son was born the following year. They were on a mission to count sheep when they found something they had not counted on, as a Utah helicopter crew buzzed over the southeastern part of the state looking for bighorn sheep last week, sitting beneath them in the middle of the desert with a bright, shiny monolith, the stuff of sci-fi sagas. Pilot Brett Hutchings of the State Department of Public Safety recalled someone on board spotting the gleaming metal object firmly implanted in a small clearing set against the redness of the rocks and sand below. More than a dozen cats and dogs vie for Maryam El-Beloushi's attention as she hands out treats on a bed in her home in Oman's capital, Muscat. Despite complaints from neighbors and mounting expense, she has accumulated 480 cats and 12 dogs, describing her pets as a mood lifter and better companions than her fellow humans. Orphaned at a young age, El-Beloushi has grown her menagerie over the past decade, identifying with her furry friends, many of which were rescued from hard lives on the street. Health experts say outdoor dining tents are generally safer than dining inside, but caution that they are not all equal. Many restaurants are erecting individual tents, igloos and other outdoor structures that let people who are dining together avoid being indoors, where the coronavirus spreads more easily. Experts say these structures should be well ventilated. A tent with 4 walls and a roof, for example, might not have better ventilation than an indoor dining room. The owner of a Frankfurt restaurant is staging a protest against the coronavirus lockdown in Germany by filling his tables with 100 stuffed toy pandas in a play on the word pandemic. German officials are expected on Wednesday to agree to extend until December 20th a lockdown light they imposed on November 2nd. That means bars, restaurants and entertainment venues must stay closed, while shops and schools can remain open. The pandas are seated at the restaurant's tables and propped up at the bar. Walt Disney Company said on Wednesday it would lay off 32,000 workers primarily at its theme parks, an increase from the 28,000 it announced in September, as the company struggles with limited customers due to the coronavirus pandemic. The layoffs will be in the first half of 2021, the company said in a filing with the Securities and Exchange Commission. Earlier this month, Disney said it was furloughing additional workers from its theme park in Southern California due to uncertainty over when the state would allow parks to reopen.